Hello and welcome to the first Sunday of the Optegra Premiership. 9:15 kickoff between Norwich City and Teesside PFC. I am delighted to be joined by George. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad at all. So, a bit of a vested interest in this one for you, with your brother playing for Norwich City.
Yeah.
What's your expectations for this?
Well, I think we're hoping to get like a point or two out of this. We haven't had the best start to the season so far. 2 losses, but I mean, it's what we've been expecting. It's a big jump to the Premiership.
It certainly is, and most teams that come up experience that, have a bit of a tough time.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough had a good day yesterday, which was great to see, but it is always a tough league to enter into for the first time. Our game is underway. We've got Millie Bean in the centre, assistants of Alan Murray and Jeff Lewis. Teesside immediately puts some pressure on. Norwich with a goal kick. And a Murgatroyd with it. Out to Joe George. Takes a touch and engages with Tyler Eve. A little bit of chair contact, but nothing too heavy. And all front bumpers, so kicking Teesside. Oh, what a lovely move that would have been. Tyler Eve send the ball down to Dylan Pearson, who found Ed Common on the far side, but it was swing and a miss from Ed. How that 2-on-1 was committed. So we've got a potential boom here. Tyler and Ed like a boom. Well executed in terms of direction. Wasn't the most powerful boom we've ever seen from those two. So easily saved by Murgatroyd in goal. But Teesside finding a little bit of space and a bit of pressure early on in this game. Norwich struggling to get out a little bit. Goal kick there, didn't quite make the contact that Anna Murgatroyd was hoping for. Bonahurt, their new signing in the middle. Did well with Hannah to shepherd out for another goal kick. So pressure remains on. Goal kick intercepted by Common, who finds Pearson on this far side. Pearson looks for a square ball, doesn't quite make it, but gets himself a kick in, which Tyler Reid will take to Ed Common. Fires it back, but mistimes that pass, and Henry Barnard for Norwich. Chance to break there, but a slight miscontrol, and it's gone out for a Teesside kicking deep in their own half. Thomas Bonahurt spreads that ball wide to Joe George, couldn't quite control it. Gets it back again, good to and fro. Pearson here with a chance. And slightly mishit it, which had completely threw Hannah Murgatroyd off because the miss hit went behind her and sent her in the opposite direction. She managed to get a touch on it, gave Pearson a second opportunity. Not quite squeezed it in at the near post. Results in a corner to Teesside, right down in front of us, which Pearson will take. A comment at the far side of the area. Tyler Reeve at the near side. Plays it to Reeve, tried to front bumper it through into the space, but Joe George, who was marking Tyler Reeve at the top of that box, didn't get out of the way quickly enough. Between him and Thomas, a 2-on-1 was given away. A sign of the pressure they're under here, Norwich. Another boom. Fake this one. Reeve and Common looked like they were booming. Tyler Reeve halted his spin, fired it across to Dylan Pearson, and the Norwich defence did not react quickly enough. And Dylan Pearson gives Teesside a 1-0 win. 1-0 lead, sorry. Tom Stonehoe then with the restart for Norwich. Teesside starting to pop the ball around nicely. Great ball through again to Pearson from Reeve. That combination is working well for Teesside. Well defended though by Norwich. So, George, what's the biggest difference between the Championship and the Premiership?
I think the skill of the players, so their passing is much quicker, sharper, and they're always going to the ball first and really quick. It's a very fast-paced game.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of teams find. I think you're spot on there. Ball out from Ed Common to Dylan Pearson at the back post. Getting another good save by Hannah Murgatroyd. Teesside still with possession though. Back to Common in the middle. Manages to find Reeve. Wasn't the cleanest pass. Reeve with a lovely touch and control. Full spin. Murgatroyd gambled on the near post and Tyler slotted it at the back post. A second then for Teesside. This opening game, and again that speed that you were talking about, George, just showing.
The goal there was very quick as well. Like, I wasn't expecting it coming from here, but it came out of nowhere.
There was a very quick change of pace and change of shape of the game. That's what seems to be the difference in the Premiership often, is that speed and how quickly the game restarts as well. Sometimes the kick-ins are barely still as the ball's struck and teams are going for it and chasing. That can catch new teams out with the getting back in position as quickly as you can. Ed Common then with the ball into Tyler Reeve, gets it back, looking to try and find some space and triangles down to Dylan Pearson. Well intercepted by Joe George though, but again that pressure telling, and consequently Thomas Donoghue just encroached into a torn one with Joe George. So Tyler Reeve with the ball into Common, across to Pearson, back to Reeve. Lovely little effort from Pearson there, just to try and change the direction of the ball, but Donoghue wise to it. Reeve and Common exchanging passes. Under a little bit too much pressure there from George and Barnardo. Ball's gone out. Kicking again. This time to Norwich, taken by Thomas Donoghue. Tries to play it into Barnard, but misses out and gets to Reeve. Gauges with Joe George. Good touch on by Donoghue, try and push that ball into some territory for Norwich. If he can battle this out with Tyler Reeve and do okay. Not quite come out on top. Commons come in. So Donoghue's now battling with Ed Common in the ball, in the middle of the pitch. He's got it wide, found Tyler Reeve. Common gets the ball back. Donoghue's did well to get that space tight, make the passing difficult. That's what Norwich need to do. Prevent this passing game that Teesside can play. Common whips the ball across to Reeve. He's going to whip it over to Pearson. Can Pearson finish? He can't. Great save again by Murgatroyd and Donoghue. They've done well in the back there. I know they've let in 2 goals, but they are doing really, really well. Bit of a contact foul there, judged just outside the area. So direct free kick here. Tyler Reeve with the ball. Ed Common on the right on the line. Simple drive out the way. Ball heads straight through the middle of the Norwich goal line pair, Thomas Donoghue, Hannah Murgatroyd. (3-0) then to Teesside. This first half looking very comfortable, but Norwich doing well in certain patches and certain areas. But Teesside have got a lot of talent on their team. Freshly into the Premiership, it is a difficult task for Norwich to try and get a foothold in this game. A couple of substitutions then. Sees Mitch Tinkler and Greg Baxter on for Teesside. Tyler Reid and Dylan Pearson off. A couple of great substitutes to be able to bring on. Both straight into the action, exchange of passes, and Mitch Tinkler winning a kick-in off of Henry Barnard. So Mitch Tinkler with the ball in to Ed Common. Ed finds the gap where Greg Baxter is. Slightly bobbling ball. Well caught in the end by our assistant referee, Alan Murray. The ball did come off a Norwich player in the end. So a Teesside kick-in, which Greg Baxter will take. He's got Mitch Tinkler backwards, which he sends the ball to. Tinkler across to Ed Common. Common finds the gap where Greg Baxter is. Fired in again. Very well stopped by Thomas Donoghue. Baxter in working some magic. Nearly got the ball back to Tinkler. And that small margin of errors where it can sometimes go slightly wrong nearly put Henry Barnard in for Norwich, but the ball was travelling at some pace and didn't quite make it to him. However, Norwich do have a kick in, quite a good advanced position. Thomas Donner to Joe George, pushes it through the gap to the back post where Henry Barnard has a shot. Alistair Hagan, goal for Teesside, came across well, closed that gap and opportunity down. But nice little manoeuvre there from Norwich. So they've got the ability to threaten Teesside. Joe George battling with Mitch Tinkler, gets past him but is run straight into Ed Common. Loses that battle, kick into Teesside, taken by Common. Tinkler down the line, Baxter across the pitch into that far spot. Norwich though starting to close down those passing lanes that Teesside have been using. Well read there by Barnard, just dropping in. That wide ball from Common to Baxter. Played a couple of times and got a shot off. And Norwich wise to that now, on that occasion. Lots of battling one-on-one, trying to find space to pass the ball. Common gets that space. Exchanges with Tinkler, finds some more space. Baxter pushes that ball in. Mitch Tinkler surely will score a goal. From my angle, that looked like it was legitimate and rolling. But Millie Bean, referee, is consulting with her assistants. And Jeff Lewis has been replaced by Kaz Bean on the sideline, and the conversation between the two has resulted in a penalty, contact foul by Hannah Murgatroyd. At the moment, that's better than goal, but Greg Baxter here with an excellent opportunity to score from the spots. And he does indeed, slotted very professionally away by Greg. Tough times for Norwich, George.
Yeah, very tough at the moment. Teesside have been looking really dangerous on the attack, and Norwich just haven't been able to cope with it.
I I think what you spoke of earlier about the speed is certainly something they need to get to grips with. They've shown that they've started to cope a bit better with some of those interceptions and passing lanes and stopping that space from being exploited by Teesside. But it's a fast learning curve for them. I think that's what they need to look at this game as. Teesside continue to keep the pressure on in the Norwich half. Joe George though and Andy Barnard, a little glimmer of opportunity there. Didn't quite make it where they needed to. Ed Common to Mitch Tinkler. Across to Greg Baxter. Baxter and Tinkler combine. And they draw now Hannah Murgatroyd and Thomas Donoghue. And there's a big space in behind. Greg Baxter scores again in quick succession after his penalty. Teesside get the game back underway. And a little bit of work down the sideline by Ed Common results in a Teesside kick-in. Plays down the line to Greg Baxter, who cannot quite control it how he'd like to. Goal kick for Norwich, chance to alleviate some of this pressure. Ed Common, one of the greats of the English game. Long-time England international and known as a bit of a magician in amongst the international squads. Greg Baxter, of course, in development squad and been in the full international squad previously. Went to the Euros in Finland in 2019, came back a European champion. And some lovely play by Teesside resulted in Greg Baxter having an opportunity to shoot there at that back post. Well saved by both Thomas Donoghue and Hannah Murgatroyd, but that left them stranded at the far post. And Ed Common took advantage of the rebound, put it right in the bottom corner of the Norwich goal. 6-0 now. Tough first half here for Norwich. And again, Ed Common brings the ball forward, finds Greg Baxter. They come back to Mitch Tinkler. Good little attempt to move that ball in through gaps. Norwich defending quite well with three now. So Hannah Murgatroyd's come up to the top of the box. Thomas Donoghue on the goal line allows Joe George to be much tighter to the top of that box without giving away 2-on-1s with Donoghue. But Teesside still finding space to move that ball around, control that space. They're very well drilled. Now the passing angles and passing lanes they're looking to exploit. All Norwich seem to be able to do at the moment is get the ball out for kick-ins when it does come their way. Donoghue then with Common. Common again wins another kick-in. Ball into the box, into a dangerous area. A few rebounds and Common, who took the kick in, has got the ball back in his bottom corner. Flicks it out to find Baxter. Well in by Joe George. Joe George getting into the top of the box when he can, but Thomas Donoghue is coming out a fair bit. Might be better to leave that to Hannah Murgatroyd where possible. Allowing Joe George to tighten that space up, as they're doing at the moment. Ed Commono trying to find a way round. He's found the ball wide to Mitch Tinkler. Common, lovely little touch across to Greg Baxter. Truly magical. Awareness of where he is and the control on the ball. That's broken down for Teesside. Norwich have moved up the pitch. The shape not quite in the right places to take advantage of their territory and position. Joe George seemed to cramp the space of Henry Barnard was where he was going, and Barnard didn't get out in time. And Donoghue ended up not quite in the supportive role that could be. A bit of hesitation potentially, leaving that space behind. 2-on-1 then. Indirect free kick. Common to take. Looks like he's going to Tinkler, so potentially asked him to move some space. I think we can potentially watch Baxter here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going all the way over there. Does indeed go to Baxter, and Henry Barnard for Norwich have had the same thought, covered it well. They picked up the ball again though, Teesside recycled well. Baxter's back to Tinkler, Tinkler to Common. Back to Tinkler, and moving this ball nicely. Great attempts at some defence there by Donoghue, but it looks like his chair may have frozen. And the resulting space has meant Tinkler to the top of the box, Common to the back post, and Baxter to score. That also brings up the half-time, and a chance for Norwich to regroup. Tough half there, 7-0 at half-time, with Ed Common and Tyler Reeve, Greg Baxter pulling the strings. Substitutes all involved as well. Very little for Alistair Haig to do in the back there for Teesside. Chastening experience, I think. So good half-time talk by the Norwich coach. Hopefully get his players up for the second half and trying to learn as much as they can. Difficult half, George.
Yeah, very, very, very difficult for Norwich, as you can see by the scoreline. I think right now, all they can do in the second half is to just try and do new things, try and play as well as they can.
Yeah, it's certainly a chance to look at other ways of playing, maybe change up the defence a little bit and have a look at how you can maybe defend slightly differently. Different positions.
Yeah.
Maybe look at having Thomas Donoghue at the right on the back all the time and bring Hannah Murgatroyd forward, or swap Thomas into goal, but allow him to play ahead of Hannah. One of those two options is possible, but we shall see. I guess I think it's going to be a tough half no matter what. We shall join you for it shortly. See you soon. Hello and welcome back for the second half of Teesside versus Norwich. (7-0) at the half-time point. Can Norwich do any better in the second half? Alistair Haigh out on pitch with Dylan Pearson, Tyler Reeve, Greg Baxter in goal. Swing from far out from Dylan Pearson, just goes narrowly past the post. Gives a chance for the new goalkeeper for Norwich in the second half, Joe George, to take the goal kick. Hannah Murgatroyd onto the bench. So second half substitute appearance for Jack Fulcher for Norwich. Alistair Haigh then to take this kick in. He's got Greg Baxter in goal. She fires the ball back to Greg, putting the ball in towards Tyler Reeve. Henry Barnard intercepted it. Reeve has come in for that battle. Teesside very much adopting a 4-out system with Greg Baxter in goal now. He's far higher up the pitch than Alistair Haigh ever plays. Tyler Reeve, lovely touch, takes the ball, gets territory, moves it forwards, and pops it back to Greg Baxter, who able to take a bit more of a controlling position. Norwich clear well though. Jack Fulcher with a bit of involvement. And Tyler Reeve and Greg Baxter, both players who've been in England and development squads, this 4-out system being fairly familiar to them. Great ball by Pearson across to Haigh, who doesn't connect. Ball brought out by Donohue for Norwich. He's got a bit of space and time. Barnard's behind him, can get the ball back. Engages with Tyler Reeve down in his bottom corner. And tries to play the ball off of Reeve or Baxter for a corner, but sadly it cannons slightly to the right of the post and goes out for a goal kick, which Greg Baxter will look to take once the ball is still. Plays it into Reeve, who can't get past Fulcher on the left wing for Norwich. I think the ball was moving when Reeve took that kick in, so it won't be a turnover kick in. Good chance to take. Takes it to Pearson, finds Haigh, brings the ball up on the left-hand side for Teesside. Well engaged by Donohue, who's worked very hard in the middle of that pitch for Norwich. Manages to get a bit of passing going between him and Barnard, but the ball was intercepted by Reeve. Quickly pounced on, set the ball for Pearson. Fires his shot wide of the far post. Kick in then for Joe George and for Norwich. Different shape for Norwich this half, George?
Yeah, I mean, we've done well not to concede any goals in this first bit of the half, but I think they're looking stronger.
There's less space, I think,
Yeah.
with this the new positions for various players.
Yeah, so they're looking much stronger in their defence, and they seem to be blocking the passes, making it much harder for Teesside to pass around the pitch with space.
Teesside, though, have a kick in down their left, which Tyler Reeve will take back to Greg Baxter. Back to Reeve, back to Baxter. Good exchange of passing. Reeve and Baxter finding Pearson eventually, who's put the ball out to Haig. Haig has a spin shot, timed it well enough to get it past the back of Donagh's chair, but in slowing down to that point, Joe George had to block, or had time to get in and block. Haig then with this corner ball. Fires it to Reeve, looks to get it across to Pearson again, but it's blocked by Donagh. Reeve's picked that ball up, he's expecting Pearson to rotate out the way, which he has done. Reeve then wins the kick in. But to take that himself. Baxter down the line, Pearson in the box, and Alistair at the far post. Look to try and find Alistair. I think he thought there might be a gap there between George and Donagh, but there wasn't. This time it'll go back to Baxter. Sends it back to Tyler Reeve. Pushes it into Dylan Pearson. But Dylan was a little bit too central. Gave away a 2-on-1. Joe George then to Donagh. Nice touch by Donagh to get past Tyler Reeve. Leaves it for Jack Fulcher to try and come and engage Greg Baxter, but Greg's done a very nice little dummy around him. Taken up the line and in recovery, won a kick in off Jack Fulcher. Baxter then in goal, taking this sideline. Looks to find Pearson. Breaks for Tyler Reeve, who finds Haig. Bit of ricocheting of the ball around in that middle of the park there. Haig now has a chance to set it properly for Reeve. Reeve's going to find Pearson. Very well done by Barnard. Close that, swing, pass and spin down. Pearson was the ball. Good signs by Norwich there. They're starting to read the game a bit faster. A couple of passes now as well. And Barnard's got a chance. Just goes past the front of his bumper. Lovely little bit of play there though by Norwich. Some great defensive anticipation, gave them an opportunity to get in down their left-hand side. Didn't quite get the execution right, but up the tempo slightly there, it's good to see. Baxter then with the kick in for Teesside. Nice little touch by Reeve, but doesn't find Haig how he intended to. Donagh and Barnard again finding each other. Unfortunately, they were a little bit too close, resulting in a 2-on-1. It's an indirect free kick for Teesside after this substitution. Alistair Haig coming off, and Mitch Tinkler coming on. Good signs there from Norwich there.
Yeah, I think they're doing much better now. They've had some passes going on, little links up of play, and they're looking more lively.
They certainly are. Ball's broken this time for Henry Barnard. Baxter right behind him, so couldn't take too much advantage. Found a lovely ball to Tinkler. Tinkler exchanged passes with Reeve. Got himself a perfect shooting opportunity. But mistimed his spin shot, so it's a goal kick for Norwich. Tyler Reeve hovering very dangerously here. Looked like he could read what was happening. He certainly could. He pounced on that ball, got a shot in. Bit of ricocheting and ball's broken for Thomas Donagh to bring the ball up for Norwich. Jack Fulcher swap wings at this point. And Henry Barnard dropping in to cover Donagh, but they've switched again. Potentially left a big space there for Mitch Tinkler at their back post. And Pearson could find him, and he did. And Mitch Tinkler scores an 8th goal for Teesside. What's been a much improved half for Norwich. But that slight rotation error from the Norwich players as they were retreating left a big bit of space in the middle and at the back post. And Pearson was able to find Tinkler. And the number 10 made it 8-0. Jack Fulcher then with a kick in. Looks to find Thomas Donohoe, engages with Tinkler in the middle. He's got the better of him there. Can he pull the ball back? Or even sneak it in at that near post? Trying to find Barnard. Not enough space to make that pass. So trying to keep the pressure on, but Tyler Reeve has done well. He's got the ball out to Pearson. Looks to get the ball across to Mitch Tinkler. That combination again almost working. A little bit of a fluff there from Pearson at the final opportunity, so it's gone out for a kick in. Looking for a big hit and didn't quite time it well. That kick in not especially well executed by Norwich. They've kept the ball to an extent. It's in contest between Pearson and Donohoe. Tinkler, lovely shape to that pass. Readjusted his chair really well to be able to make that spin pass to Reeve. Bright young talent is Mitch Tinkler. Ball's broken to Barnard. Can he get it over to Fulcher? Not quite. Tyler Reeve pumps the ball up line, up pitch, up the line across to Dylan Pearson. Mitch Tinkler appears to have slotted into the middle of the pitch for Teesside at the moment. I don't know if that's temporary, as that's where they found themselves, or a decision they've made to give him an opportunity to show his showcase his talents. Seems a bit more permanent, so Tinkler's now seems to be the centre pivot player. Pearson on the right wing and Reeve out on the left wing. Baxter still in goal. Tyler Reeve engaging well, but Jack Fulcher not retreated well enough for Norwich. 2-on-1 to Teesside. Ball down the line from Baxter. Reeve just his chair to get it square across the pitch to Pearson. Finds Tinkler, but pass is not quite slick as they should be. And Tinkler has to go back and battle Jack Fulcher for the ball. Still battling. Pearson then going to have to get out of the way. Pearson didn't get out of the way quick enough, so 2-on-1 given by referee Millie Bean, who we must congratulate. Yesterday refereed her 100th game in the National League, and so will become, when presented, the youngest recipient of the Steve Baxter Memorial Coin. Remarkable achievement. So huge congratulations to Millie. A little while before the coin's presented. Each coin is made individually with their description of the game that they've was their 100th on, as well as their name and the number of the coin being issued. Yesterday, Pete Taylor was the latest recipient of the coin. He was awarded, presented with the coin on after one of his games on pitch A by WFA chairperson Dean Williams and Greg Baxter, who's playing in this game, Steve Baxter's son. Very touching moment for Pete. I know he was very honoured to have received the coin. Teesside then on the attack. Substitution has meant as Haig is now on the left-hand side. Dylan Pearson having gone off. Mitch Tinkler on the right and Tyler Reeve back in the central pivot position. Tyler there, and Greg feel a bit more comfortable coming out. Playing a more advanced four-out system. All four Teesside players temporarily in the Norwich half. Great ball from Reeve to Tinkler, who smashed the ball across to Haig. Hadn't quite adjusted his chair position to be in the right place. Otherwise it would have been a fairly simple goal for him. Norwich survived that one though. Norwich are much better in this second half. It's 7-0 at half time and only one goal conceded in this second half so far by Norwich, and they've had a couple of bright moments where they've looked threatening. Certainly spent more time in the Teesside half than they did in the first 20 minutes. However, Teesside still on the attack. Ball there from Haig across to Tinkler. Well worked by Tinkler, but again, Henry Barnard starting to read some of those passing lines and block that one nicely. Potential 2-on-1 there. So, George, do you think this could be a slightly more permanent change in goal for Norwich going forward, given the success that Thomas and Joe have seemed to have had at the back together?
Yeah, I feel like this has been a lot better and safer. I feel like this could be a future new roles for the two. Well, I mean, for Johan, he's done surprisingly quite well. Bit of a change for him instead of being on the wing, but I think it could be permanent.
I think you might be right. I think Jack and Henry have also done quite well in closing down some of those passing lanes. They've been a bit busier this second half and a bit more active in that defensive transitions. Tyler Reeve has got the better there, and Thomas Lonnie's found some space and isolated. Donner on the outside, he's done well to get back round and block that off. Found Ed Common, back to Reeve. Reeve through the gap, but ricochets off some chairs. Ed Common trying to find a spot in that back corner. Back post area, but fires it wide. So Teesside, I'm sure, will be very happy with this result, and I suspect Norwich, although disappointed with the result, will take a lot from this second half and lots of confidence and belief that they can perform well in this league, although they've conceded a very late goal there. Tyler Reeve finding Alistair Haig at the back post. So make it 9-0, only 14 seconds left on the pitch side clock. Don't think there'll be many stoppages. Haven't had too much in terms of free kicks and the referee needed to speak to anyone. Had a couple of goals, which might add a bit of time. Good bits of play there from Teesside again. Haig at the back post. But survived by Norwich. Final score 9-0. A great result for Teesside. I'll be very happy with that. Although a difficult result to swallow for Norwich. Some positives to take from that second half for definite. Thank you for joining me, George.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
And I hope to see you again sometime again in the season. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, bye.